are a D2C brand juggling multiple apps to track performance and feeling overwhelmed by the data overload, you are in for a treat today. Merito is a D2C analytics platform offering actionable insights and not just raw data, empowering over 80 brands to exceed their sales target. Hello there, I'm Ankita Pahwa, your host at Follow Startups. Today we are thrilled to have Abhishek Chaturvedi on the show, the founder and CEO of Merito. Abhishek brings a wealth of experience from his time in risk management and corporate banking at ICICI Prudential AMC and ICICI Bank before venturing into the analytics realm with Merito. By the end of this interview, I'm sure you'll discover all the reasons why Merito should be your brand's data co-pilot. Hi Abhishek, welcome to Follow Startups.
Hello, hi. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and that was a glorious introduction. Thank you.
So Abhishek, before I bombard you with all the questions, tell us something about yourself and your journey before Merito.
So my journey before Merito was very different from what I do here right now. I was a boring nerd in school who sort of always knew that I wanted to become a banker, and that's where my career took me. First job after college was ICICI in Dubai, where I was part of the corporate finance and investment banking team. Did that for close to 4.5, 5 years, and then moved back to Bombay. That's where I'm from. Originally worked a year in IPRU AMC, so as part of the debt investment team over there. Interesting time to do that, sort of 2018, 2019, just after ILFS. Wealth of experience over there. And towards the end of 2019, early 2020, I got introduced to this thing called software, this thing called technology. Realized the power of sort of building software for enterprise, and that's where that started my journey as a tech entrepreneur, and that's culminated with me sort of building Merito a little over a year ago now. Apart from that, I also sort of advise a few, tech startups on the side, primarily in the, fintech and lending domain, and maybe non-work related. I think I'm a big cricket fan and sort of spend a lot of time doing that as well. So yeah, right now my identity is Merito and sort of will continue to be so. But this is a bit about me apart from Merito.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So tell us, what are you trying to address with Merito and what's it all about?
So, pretty interesting journey. So, very honestly, what we're doing now is very different from what we started out to, right? So, in December of last year, I stumbled upon this world of Shopify, this world of D2C, maybe a bit sort of boosted by Shark Tank and stuff like that. And I started speaking to a bunch of D2C founders and online brands around that time. I loved the market immediately, right? I realized that this is a fast growing market, not in terms of obviously the number of brands that are coming up, but also the kind of founders that are in it, right? A lot of young founders, a lot of founders who are taking fast decisions, who are sort of growing pretty rapidly. And at the end of a lot of those conversations, I was like, this is the space that I want to build for. This is the market that I want to build for. One thing stood out to me when I spoke to all of these brands and all of these founders, marketers, that whenever they sort of were telling me about their brand or like, sharing a screen or something like that, there was always multiple tabs open, right? There's like a Shopify tab open, a Google Ads, a Meta Ads tab, an Amazon tab, a Flipkart tab, and a bunch of different tabs open on their screen. So I was like, okay, what do I build? What do I build for this market? And I thought, okay, the simplest thing is let's just build one tab to replace them all, right? And that's really where the idea of Merito came about, where we like let's just consolidate data from various sales channels and various ad platforms that a D2C brand uses, and give them consolidated reports and sort of consolidated analytics in one place. And that's pretty much the MVP. We took about 3, 4 months to sort of build that out. Went live in May of this year, and at that time we just had a couple of reports, couple of like sales and product reports on our platform. Cut to now, we've got in little less than 6 months more than 90 brands now that are using Merito. Few large brands like few popular Shark Tank brands as well using it, but like Bummer, Maintain, Blue Tea, Good Bark. So bunch of diverse brands that are currently using Merito to sort of manage their analytics and get a better idea of their sales and marketing spends. Now, what we started off to do at that time, as I said, was just, consolidate data and put it in one place. Now that mission has become much stronger and much clearer, right? We realized through this journey that this is an ecosystem that has so many young founders, young brands, and the real value is not in consolidating data, but the real value is telling them what to do and sort of giving them suggestions and giving them growth insights. So if you ask me what Merito is today, we're effectively a growth platform for D2C brands where any young D2C brand can get automated suggestions for marketing ideas, such as performance marketing campaigns, WhatsApp campaigns. By simply just connecting to the platform, they can know that this is a campaign you should be sending out to people in Pune, or that's a product that you should be bundling with another product, or this is the hour of the day that you should be sending out a campaign. So we give a lot of these like automated insights and suggestions to a brand for marketing campaigns. And then the reporting part of the platform effectively then tracks how well these suggestions have gone and how well these sort of campaigns have gone. So in a nutshell, we become like a virtual growth marketing team for early stage D2C brands in India. And that's pretty much what we do now.
So, we are living in this transient and ephemeral age where brands are also witnessing this significant shift, be it consumer behavior, be it their lifestyle choices, the way we work, the services, the whole experience economy and the shared economy has also come into the picture. There's a whirlwind of activity happening that's navigating the landscape of D2C brands. So, having said that, could you share some of the use cases, perhaps how Merito aids brands in making daily sales decisions, and what attributes of Merito make it a valuable asset in this current landscape?
So the number one use case is around sort of performance marketing. Number two use case is retention marketing. And number three use case is tracking how both of those sort of decisions went, right? So let's go to the first one, right? Like performance marketing. Now, effectively, every D2C brand is spending money on Google Ads and Meta Ads. And what they can do coming to our platform, they can know which ad campaign they should increase the budget for, which is the ad that they should remove, which ad is the one that they should change the creative for, which is the ad that they should sort of bring back into it, which is an ad that they can sort of run for a particular product. So if they want to launch a new product, then this is the campaign or this is the ad that they should use to launch that product, right? So a bunch of suggestions and decisions around performance marketing that are helping them, get a higher return on ad spend, right? So that's the number one use case. The number two use case is a bit similar to number one, which is, but this focuses around retention marketing. So obviously, with ad spends going up, brands are realizing the value of retaining their customers and finding strategies to get more orders from their existing customers. So in these cases, what we do is we suggest like WhatsApp campaigns that they can send out, discount codes that they can send out to existing users, and more ideas around WhatsApp and email campaigns that they can send out to their brands to their customers, right? So that's the number two use case. And then the number three use case is effectively a daily tracker or the most, in-depth analytics of how well your brand is doing, not only from applying use case one and applying use case two, but just generally around what are the products that are selling, what are the cities that are buying, what are the kind of margins that you're seeing, right? So that's effectively what we do. So give them ideas for performance marketing, give them ideas for retention marketing, and then tracking that can help them understand how well their sales and marketing are doing at a data level. So these are the top three use cases that we have now.
All right.
Good.
So, Abhishek,
Hmm.
I wanted to understand your target market a little bit in more detail. So, tell us what's the nature of these D2C brands and which industries do the
Hmm.
majority of them belong to?
Honestly, we don't look at our market as a sector of sort of D2C brands by category. Like it's not like we're only for beauty brands or we're only for like home decor. We're effectively category agnostic, right? So we have a undergarments company, we have like nutraceutical brands using it, like we have sort of kids furniture brands using it, right? So wide variety of products. So we're not really limited by category. Where we do like to sort of position ourselves is by the age of the brand or sort of like the stage they're at, right? We like to specialize in 0 to 1 brands. So sort of brands that have just sort of got an idea of who their market is. So if I had to sort of quantify that, brands who are doing maybe 10 lakhs a month, 15 lakhs a month are effectively sort of a zero or an early stage brand in the D2C ecosystem, going all the way to probably a crore a month, right? So like that stage of brand is the one that we sort of want to cater to, and give them more growth decisions and analytics decisions. And the reason there is that these are usually brands which don't have sophisticated tech teams and sophisticated like analytics teams, and don't really have the budget to like delve deeper into buying expensive BI products as well, right? So this is the category that we believe is ripe for us, and that's the category that we're looking at. Now, at an India level, today there are close to 800 D2C brands in India. If you start including Amazon sellers and Flipkart sellers and stuff, that number goes up to more than sort of 15,000. So effectively, that 800 today is what we're looking. And maybe if you take the ones who are doing 100 CR plus and take those out, so that effectively leaves about 500-600 D2C brands there. And then you take the whole Flipkart ecosystem and Amazon ecosystem as well when we finally have those integrations. So you're roughly looking at about 10,000 odd brands that fit our target market in India.
We'd love to hear some of the brand names that currently work with Merito and have successfully seen a significant positive impact.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, right? So I think the names that we all know are probably the Shark Tank ones. So we have close to 12 Shark Tank brands now that are using Merito. So a couple of popular ones like Maintain, Wicked Good, Bummer, Green Protein. These are a few sort of Shark Tank brands that are using Merito that you've probably heard of. And yeah.
So, Abhishek, what stage of growth would you describe Merito to be in currently?
So, I mean, I think we're very much at an MVP or an idea stage, right? Even though we have 90 brands using it, we have more than 80% of those weekly active. So we have a lot of activity on our platform. We more than 75% of all the brands currently are through referrals and inbound. So despite us seeing great adoption, we still think we're at the idea stage. We still think we're at the MVP stage as a company, yes.
So, could you give us a sense of how Merito generates revenue and how do you approach pricing for this dashboard that you offer? And what factors contribute to determining these prices for brands?
So the idea over here was always clear that to appeal to 0 to 1 brands, you need to have a very accessible price point, and especially in a place like India, which is notorious for businesses don't pay for software, right? It's important to have a very accessible and attractive price point, and we never wanted that to be a barrier for a brand to use Merito, right? So currently, we sort of offer subscriptions between 2 to 4,000 rupees a month, so effectively $30 to $40 a month, for brands that are using Merito. Effectively, what we aim to do is, yeah, just a fixed monthly subscription to make it as accessible to more and more brands that are using it. That's our model. Going forward, we may experiment with other models, other value-added services, like giving access to growth consultants as well through our platform. But yeah, for now, we charge a fixed subscription fee, and the logic behind that, as you asked, is very clear, just to be as accessible as possible. And what allows us to do that is the sort of ease of the product, right? So it takes about 10 minutes to get started. I famously say that, we had a 60-something-year-old founder who set up his Merito account on his own without even, needing me or anyone from the team on a call. So a very simple self-serve product is what allows us to sort of cater and provide this at such a price point.
So, give us an overview of your current team strength and how are the roles divided in your team?
Very, very young team. Apart from me, they're all freshers straight out of college. It's all a tech team
Mm.
apart from me. So we've got a couple of engineers, a data scientist, and a designer, who sort of built the product that we sort of built in. And yeah, we all sit out of a small co-working space in Bombay. So it's very much a hustling startup sort of environment that we work out of, in a very small team that's catered to significant traction. And yeah, going forward, we probably will upscale, like sort of hire a bit more on the marketing and growth side. But even that, probably not for the next year because of the kind of inbound traction that we see.
Okay. So, today we are seeing, like you said, D2C brands are increasingly relying on
Hmm.
data to comprehend customer preferences, retention, and all
Hmm.
the psychographics for crafting very customized marketing
Correct.
campaigns, right? So, as someone who's been in the industry for a while now, what forthcoming trends and transformation do you foresee in the upcoming years?
I would say the number one thing that comes to my mind when you said that is omni-channel. I think a lot of brands need to realize that to build loyalty, you need to be at every touch point. Right now, very simply, if you have a favorite chocolate, you're gonna order it online. If you're walking in a grocery store and see it, you're gonna want to just pick it up from there. If you're on the highway and just stopping, to have a snack and you see it in a shop over there, you're going to want to pick it up there as well. So effectively, what a brand needs to be is be present at every possible touch point for a where their customer is. So I think that's the trend that you're going to see in D2C, because a lot of young brands came up in the last few years with the focus of either selling only on their website or selling only on a marketplace. But I think what we're going to see now is brands being available on their more and more younger brands being available on their website, as well as a marketplace, as well as quick commerce platforms across the board. And I think that's where an opportunity comes for a player like us as well to integrate as many sales channels as soon as we can. And that's what we're working towards. We're coming out with an Amazon integration soon, a Flipkart integration soon as well. So omni-channel is the number one trend that we're going to see. I think the number two trend that we are already seeing, but probably a little bit more of, is um, a renewed focus around content and more creativity in the kind of D2C acquisition funnel, right? Because a lot of D2C brands are realizing that just simply spending on Google and Meta is not an effective way out. We need to start bringing a lot of organic traffic in, and you see the ones who are standing out from the ones who are now starting to realize that, hey, we're not profitable, are the ones at the top end of this are ones who have substantial social media following, substantial organic content. So I think sort of building out a strong content pipeline and engaging content sort of image is going to be one that's going to be pretty important for as well going forward. And probably a third one as well that we will see is brands focusing more around retention rather than just acquisition, right? Till now, for the last 2 years, brands are just pretty much focused around getting more and more customers. But very soon, brands are realizing the value of LTV and repeat rates, and you're going to see more innovative repeat campaigns rather than just spending money on Google and Meta. So yeah, I think these are the top three trends that I see.
So, what do you envision for Merito in the next 12 months or so? Any new features, products, or expansion plans?
Our thesis remains the same, which is how do we take a brand from zero to one using their own data, right? So anything that we build will be something that backs that thesis, right? Any features that we sort of build will be to back that. The first thing that we're seeing is that we're going to be building is similar to number one trend that I told you, which is omni-channel. So we're over the next 1 year, we're hoping to have the top 6 to 7 major marketplaces of India on Merito as well, so that any brand that's using Merito can not only see their website sort of data and get suggestions on that, but actually get it sort of omni-channel, which makes it more practical for them, right? So I think that's the number one thing that we're working on. Secondly, we're also trying to sort of see how we can help brands increase access to finance, right? Like we see a lot of younger brands trying to pitch VCs and lenders,
Mm.
and not knowing how to build a financial model out, or not having a centralized place where they know where their margins are and stuff, right? So any reports or features where a brand can just sort of one click and get access to their P&L as a whole is also something that we're looking to build out.
So, Abhishek, if I ask you to reflect on your journey, so what do you say from your earlier roles to leading Merito? What are the
Hmm.
top three factors that have contributed to the growth of your business?
I think the number one factor is obsession. I think it's important to be obsessed to your mission. I think
Yeah.
our entire team is obsessed to like serving the customer, listening to the customer day in day out, and I think that's probably the most important thing that's working for us. The second thing I would say is structure, right? Like because we're a very young team, but because we work in B2B at the end of the day, which is high touch point sort of business, it's important to find structure in the way your team is organized, in the way we prioritize projects, in the way we sort of even work among ourselves in terms of how we communicate as a team, right? So I think structure is the second thing that sort of works very well for us. And I think the third that works for us is speed. It's important to know, like gather insights and act on those as soon as you can, right? So I think that's something which we've been able to do phenomenally well over the past sort of 8 to 12 months that we've been together as a team, and I think that's something that will hold true for us even going forward. So obsession, structure, and speed are probably the three things that serve us well.
Amazing. And we have plans to promote this video, promote Merito to large enterprises, potential investors, tech giants, and a broader ecosystem altogether. So, is there anything specific that you'd like to mention that could help you find any kind of external assistance that you are looking for?
So I think what we're looking for is to get access to more and more brands. I think that's we want we have a vision that in the next 5 years we want 10,000 brands using Merito, and so getting access to more and more of those sort of 0 to 1 brands is something that we'd love to be connected to. Obviously, I think you guys probably are reaching out to like large corporates and enterprises. A lot of those you see a lot of large corporates also either building their own in-house brands or sort of going and acquiring younger brands as well, right? So I think that particular TG would be pretty interesting for us to get connected to as well. So yeah, I think reaching out to more and more brands is something that we would love. While we can promise them using Merito, they'd be able to squeeze a few more sort of basis points on their ad spends and the kind of margins they have. Yeah, looking forward to more connections like that.
And that's what we need. And thank you
Mm.
so much. This has been great. And I'm
Mm.
genuinely looking forward to witnessing your future accomplishments and talking more about your milestones in our
Mm.
future conversations right here. So, Abhishek, before
Mm.
we wrap up, just a quick rapid fire round. Are you ready? 5 questions.
Oh, wow. Okay, sure, please.
Okay. Question number one, a book that you would like to recommend to the youth that has greatly influenced your career.
The Netflix CEO's book, No Rules Rules.
Amazing. Good choice. Okay. Which productivity tool or app do you find most helpful in your daily work?
Honestly, I just use an Excel sheet and I think that works brilliantly for me.
Question number three, a fun fact about you that most people don't know.
That I probably know every cricket score that's being played by a major country on the planet at any given point of time.
Well, I think I'll have to invite you to another
Mm.
podcast that we have to discuss cricket. Okay, question number four, a favorite quote that you live by, a quotation.
We go again. It's sort of something that I've read in a football field. So every time you fall down, you just keep going again. So yeah, we go again is something I live by.
And now that we have spoken so much about the brands, one more
Mm.
question. So there's a saying that don't tell me who you are, just tell me
Mm.
what brands you use. So I want you to describe yourself using the names of just three brands.
Interesting. Probably Apple, Microsoft, Lenskart.
Great. And what is your one piece of advice for the young audience watching this?
I think just be focused, right? Like if you've got a particular, thesis that you're executing as a startup, just be focused towards that, and don't try to do too many things. Just like pick one thing and sort of solve that. I think yeah, that would be the best piece of advice.
Great. I hope this was worthy of your time. So thank you so
Yeah,
much. One last thing before we wrap this up.
yeah.
Abhishek, make a wish for Merito that you hope comes true in the near future.
I think if we're able to see at least 1,000 in the next 5 years, if we're able to see 1,000 brands that use Merito go from doing X to probably 10X monthly revenues, I think that for me would make me happier than anything else. So yeah, that's what I wish for.
Great. Thank you so much. Here's to Merito unlocking every D2C's brand true potential. All the very best.
Thank you so much, Angela.
And if you'd like to stay updated with the latest developments and business insights from Merito, make sure to follow their channel on follow.us/startups. Thank you for watching. See you in the next conversation.